Cable Guy Ken here. That was a little bit of Hell's Bells by AC/DC. One of the few songs I know how to play on a bass. I picked up bass probably 4 years ago. Went out and spent a bunch of equipment. That was an Austin limited edition bass. I paid $800 for it, somewhere right about there. Got two other ones. Well, I got one other one now. The other one I just gave to my son for Christmas was a nice Ibanez, beautiful Ibanez bass that I gave him. I've got an old PV amp. I paid $300 for. Don't know what it's worth. It's old as all get out, but it plays good. Don't sound too bad. I got interested in bass because my life was in a tailspin, and that was pretty much the motto of my life, was Hell's Bells. That was the only reason I wanted to learn that song. It just seemed to fit me. And picking up music actually gave me a niche with my oldest son. He started playing drums, started playing bass, started playing guitar, and totally surpassed anything I could ever do on any of them. He has talent beyond talent as far as I'm concerned, and I know all parents say that of their children, but he's one of the most requested drummers here in Florence, South Carolina. He's currently with a group called the Autumn Grave, Christian metal band, really hard progressive stuff, really just beautiful music. Lots of great talent, lots of dedicated kids, got their head in the right spot. But I've got two children, and my youngest one he's more along my lines when it comes to music. If he put 120% into it every spare minute of the day, he'd be great at it. If I'd pick those basses up and get back into playing them, I could probably be a great bassist. But it just doesn't interest me enough to keep it going. So a couple of years ago, I was interested in the Tom Brown Tracker. I watched a movie with Benicio del Toro, however you pronounce his name, and Tommy Lee Jones, one of my favorite actors, called The Hunted. I'm sure a lot of you have seen it. Amazing movie, but it's Hollywood at its finest. It totally made a joke of everything, primitive skills, tracking. It surprised me that Tom Brown had anything to do with it. I think he's a great person, a great tracker. Has a lot of great skills to teach, a lot of great books out there that are good to read. But I watched this movie, and this knife in it that Hollywood just made look like the holy grail of knives. I said, you know, I want to have one of those for no other reason than because it just looked awesome. Just the look of it alone. I said, I've got to have a Tom Brown Tracker. So I started doing some research on it, went on YouTube, started typing in just Tom Brown Tracker, and found all these videos. And I found this slightly gray-haired guy wearing a high and tight out in the middle of the woods in the snow making a bow with a Tom Brown Tracker. And I watched that video and I was like, you know, what is this guy doing? Is he crazy? It's freezing out there. You know, in all honesty, I thought the guy was a nut. And I didn't watch any more of his videos for a while. I went back every now and then and I'd look for them as I could find them, and I'd watch them. And then I made my first knife, and I kept going online doing other things. And I said, well, let me see what else this guy's got. And hence the saga of watching Wilderness Outfitters Archery on YouTube began, with many a night of my wife begging me to go ahead and get in bed, because I was just amazed at how simple and how easy he made everything. You know, you listen to other people teach, and they overcomplicate things to notches unknown. It's just amazing how they try to make everything look so technical and so dramatic. And then Dave says, look, it's not rocket science. You need a piece of string, a flat piece of wood, a spindle, and a piece of wood that you can make a bow out of, and you can make a bow drill fire. Everybody else is going into all these scientific BS about what's happening, and Dave says, look, get out and do it. Find out what works for you. This is it. There's no set formula for this. Get out and do it. Let's learn together. That's what really got me. I was like, you know, here's a guy that obviously has a lot of experience doing things in places none of us have probably ever even heard of, and as far as the world's concerned, he was never there. And he's just phenomenal at what he does. I started remembering things that I had long lost forgot from when I was in service, and started learning so many new things. And I started telling my youngest kid, I said, hey, come check this out, And little by little, me and my youngest son actually formed a bond that we had never had. I left my wife when he was 3 years old. So all he knew of me literally was every 2 weeks. And if you're a single father or a separated father with visitation, you know that time you get them from 9 o'clock Saturday morning to 6 o'clock Sunday evening don't amount to squat. It's not enough. There's just nothing you can do to really bond with a child, especially at such a young age. And I'd done the whole camping thing, but if you think camping is the same thing as being a Pathfinder, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot. It's not the same. If you go out there, I don't care if you hike to your camping spot, if you drive to Coney National Forest up in upstate South Carolina, beautiful countryside, you have to hike 2 miles to get to your camping spot. Then when you get there, you've got full electric, running water, bathroom, showers, tents, cooler. I mean, that's not being a Pathfinder. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with tent camping and living, a little lushy lifestyle when you go camping. But it's not the same, and you do not have the same bonding experience you have with the people you share it with. And having this has brought me and my son so close that it's like I'm a brand new father. It's like I've got another child that's been born, and he just happened to be 14 years old when he was born, It's amazing what the teaching that Dave is doing can do for you if you let it. It's caused me to be a better person. It's caused me to be a lot closer to God than I was before, to really see God in a day-to-day life, to look out in the trees and admire the wonders of the creation that He's given us, to be able to walk up to a stream and realize that with a touch of a finger He caused the first ripple, that caused the first wave, that formed the first beach. Instead of just walking out there and saying, oh, it's water, it's wet, and there's fish in it, you really begin to appreciate so much more when you really start diving deeper into what being a true Pathfinder is.